Welcome to Cozy Reading Club, the podcast where we read the book and tell you about it so you don't have to.
So last time, if you remember, we left Achilles still, absolutely furious. He was shut away in his tent, all because of that argument over Briseis.
Right, and the Trojans, with Hector leading the charge, they were really gaining ground. They felt Zeus was on their side, pushing the Achaeans right back to the sea, back to their ships.
Exactly, and Agamemnon had tried to fix things, remember? He sent Odysseus, Ajax, even Phoenix, offering all sorts of gifts, promising Briseis back.
But Achilles just wouldn't have it, still too angry, so the Achaeans were, really in a terrible spot. Hector was threatening to burn the ships, total disaster looming.
Which brings us perfectly to today's deep dive. We're looking at books 13th, 14th, XVIth of the Iliad. This is a huge section.
Yeah, this is where Patroclus really steps into the spotlight, isn't it? Leading up to his death. It feels like a major turning point.
Oh, absolutely critical. A real pivot in the whole epic.
Yeah.
And like before, our main source here is Homer's text itself, specifically these 4 books.
Okay, so the Achaeans are desperate. Book 13 kicks off. How does the action start?
Well, Zeus is sort of looking on from Mount Ida, still favoring the Trojans, it seems.
Yeah.
But Poseidon, he sees how bad things are for the Achaeans and decides to lend a hand.
Secretly.
Yeah, he disguises himself, goes among the troops, tries to rally them. They're pretty demoralized, with Hector pressing so hard and thinking Zeus is against them.
Wow. So even without Achilles, they get this secret divine boost. It must have been really bad for Poseidon to step in like that.
It really shows the desperation. And you see other heroes stepping up, too.
Yeah.
Idomeneus, Ajax, they fight incredibly hard trying to defend those ships.
Because the ships are their lifeline, right? Their only way home.
Exactly. If Hector burns those ships, it's game over. They're trapped.
But even with Poseidon helping and these guys fighting like mad, Hector's still coming.
Oh, yeah. He's relentless. Laser focused on setting their ships alight. The pressure is immense. The Achaeans are just barely holding on.
Okay, so book 13 is basically edge-of-your-seat defense. Then book 14, does anything shift? Do the Achaeans get a break?
Well, Hera sees what's happening. She sees Poseidon helping, sees the Achaeans struggling, and decides she needs to do something more direct. Her target, Zeus.
Distract Zeus! How on earth do you distract the king of the gods?
Well, with some serious divine glamour, basically. She gets all dressed up, makes herself look irresistible. She even borrows Aphrodite's special girdle, the one that enhances allure.
Okay.
And then she tells Zeus a little white lie, says she's off to visit her parents, Oceanus and Tethys.
A bit of godly trickery. Does it actually work?
It totally works. She goes up to Mount Ida, finds Zeus, turns on the charm, and he's completely distracted. Seduced, actually.
Wow.
And while Zeus is otherwise occupied,
Yeah.
asleep, let's say, Poseidon sees his chance. He ramps up his support for the Achaeans. Big time.
So Hera's plan gives Poseidon cover, and the battle turns.
Yes. The Trojans get pushed back quite significantly. It's a definite, though temporary, shift thanks to Hera's intervention.
It's amazing how the gods' personal dramas directly impact the war. But, like you said, temporary. What happens when Zeus wakes up? He can't have been happy.
Happy, he's furious, absolutely livid. He realizes he's been tricked, sees Poseidon interfering. He lays into Hera.
Does she confess?
Eventually, yeah. But she points out Poseidon acted on his own initiative, which doesn't really save Poseidon from Zeus's anger.
So Zeus comes down hard on Poseidon.
You bet. He sends Iris, the messenger goddess, with a very clear message. Get out of the battle now, or face the consequences. And Iris reminds him just how powerful Zeus is.
Does Poseidon argue?
He's clearly resentful, mutters a bit, but he knows he can't openly defy Zeus like that. So reluctantly, he withdraws.
Okay, so the Achaeans lose their divine helper again, and Zeus is back in control and angry. How does he tip things back to the Trojans in Book X?
He sends Apollo, first to heal Hector, who'd been injured. Then Apollo basically rallies the Trojans and, using Zeus's own terrifying aegis, he panics the Achaeans.
He aegis. That's like serious divine power, right?
Oh, yeah. It causes sheer terror.
Yeah.
The tide turns completely. Achaeans are driven back again, scrambling behind their walls.
It's like a divine tug of war, pulling the battle lines back and forth.
Exactly that. And with Apollo's help, Hector is back, stronger than ever, leading this massive charge towards the ships again. It looks really, really bad for the Achaeans. Imminent destruction, basically.
Back to square one, almost worse. Which, I guess, finally brings us to Patroclus in Book 6.
Precisely. Patroclus sees all this suffering. He sees his friends getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
And old Nestor really urges him, tells him he should do something.
So he goes to Achilles.
He does. deeply moved, just heartbroken by it all. He begs Achilles, pleads with him, asks permission to wear Achilles' armor and lead the Myrmidons into battle.
Just wearing the armor, that's a huge deal. Achilles must have been hesitant.
Very hesitant. He agrees, but, reluctantly. And he gives Patroclus very strict orders.
Sure.
Drive the Trojans away from the ships. Just secure the ships, then come straight back. Do not get carried away. Do not pursue them towards Troy.
Famous last words, almost. But he agrees, lends him the armor, the chariot, the soldiers.
Yes, all of it. His own peerless Myrmidons.
So Patroclus rides out, looking like Achilles. What's the effect?
Instant panic among the Trojans. They see the armor, they think Achilles is back, filled with rage. They just break and run, complete rout.
Wow, so it works. He's actually saving the day.
He really is. Fights incredibly bravely, pushes the Trojans back, saves the ships from being burned. He kills a lot of Trojans, too. Major fighters.
Including Sarpedon, right, who's Zeus's son.
Yes, that's a massive moment. Zeus actually weeps blood from the sky. He's so grieved.
Yeah.
But he can't intervene. Fate decreed Sarpedon would die there.
Even Zeus is bound by fate. That's heavy.
It really underlines that theme, doesn't it?
Right.
There's an order even the gods can't mess with.
So Patroclus is having this amazing success, but Achilles told him not to pursue them.
And this is the tragedy. Patroclus gets caught up in it all. Battle fury, maybe. Arisaea, they call it, his moment of glory. He forgets Achilles' warning or ignores it.
He goes too far.
He pursues them all the way towards the walls of Troy itself. And that's when things go wrong. Terribly wrong.
How? What stops him?
Apollo intervenes directly. He strikes Patroclus, knocks his helmet off, shatters his spear, makes the armor loosen and fall away. Leaves him disoriented, disarmed.
Apollo himself?
Yes. Then a Trojan, Euphorbus, manages to spear him, wounds him.
And then Hector.
And then Hector steps in and delivers the final fatal blow, right through the stomach with his spear.
Oh, man. Devastating. But Patroclus gets the last word, doesn't he?
He does. As he's dying, he looks Hector in the eye and tells him straight, "You may have killed me, but your own death is coming soon, at the hands of Achilles."
A chilling prophecy. What does Hector do?
In his moment of triumph, he strips Achilles' famous armor off Patroclus' body. And then he puts it on himself.
Hector is wearing Achilles' armor. Whoa.
Yeah, a hugely symbolic and maybe foolish act.
So, wow. That's where we leave it. Patroclus dead, Hector wearing the armor, and Achilles. Achilles doesn't even know yet.
Not yet. The news hasn't reached him. Patroclus is dead. His closest, dearest friend. And Hector has his armor. It's what's a moment everything changes, irrevocably.
You just know Achilles' reaction is going to be volcanic. What will he do? Will this finally bring him back to the war? And what happens when he comes for Hector?
Questions that hang heavy in the air. The rage, the grief, the vengeance. It's all about to explode.
We'll have to leave it there for this deep dive. What a turning point.
This was Cozy Reading Club, the podcast where we read the book and tell you about it so you don't have to. If you like this series, we invite you to take a look at other series in our podcast and leave a nice review on the platform you are listening this on.